everybody, Rex here. You know, I was sharing this Star Trek thing that I had made for a friend of mine. We were talking Star Trek. We're fans of the show and we have a common interest there. And a friend of ours was walking by and she mentioned that her daughter, a young 16, 17-year-old daughter, was also a Trekkie, a Star Trek fan. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make her a little something. So the next time that I see them, I'm gonna give it to her because I hear she's seen every episode of every season, and I thought, oh, okay, great, another Trekkie. So what I did is created this little thing here. See, her name is Candace, and look, Captain Kirk is wearing a baseball hat with her name on it. Now, how cool is that? And I'm pretty sure she's going to really dig it when she sees this, so she doesn't know that I'm making it for her. So in this video, I'm going to go through how I went and made this special personalized Star Trek gift for a young friend. So let's get right to it. Okay, on my phone, I'm going to go to X, which used to be known as Twitter. And you're going to find this little icon called Grok on the bottom there. And what I want to do is make an image. So I'm going to go and ask Grok to imagine Captain Kirk and Spock, and that Captain Kirk is wearing a hat and it's got this name on there. And just tell it what you want, get creative with your prompting, and then once you finally get something that you like, then go ahead and get it onto your PC or whatever you're using to edit your images. Now, I have to admit, I am very impressed with Grok in the way it can make images of well-known characters. I was hoping it can make an image of me, but I'm apparently not a well-known character, so that didn't work too well. Okay, then I'm starting up my Affinity Photo version 2 software. You could use Photoshop or whatever it is that you like to use, and I'm going to load in the image that Grok had created. You can see here it's got Candace's name on the hat. It's really cool. So I'm just getting it all nice and formatted. Make sure you mirror it, because when you transfer it, it's going to show mirrored. And then I'm going to send it off to the printer. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is repurpose a piece of wood that I happen to have laying around in the studio by painting it with white acrylic paint. This not only allows me to reuse materials, but it also allows the colors of the transfer to pop, because you have a nice white background that will prevent any kind of discolorations from the material you're using. Or if you'll notice that this particular piece of wood is kind of a darkish beige wood grain color, which would dull the transfer colors somewhat, because the images that you print from your laser printer are not really 100% opaque. It will show some of the background through the image. So if you don't want to have anything that is on your wood or whatever substrate you're using showing through your image, I highly recommend that you treat the background such as I'm doing here. Here's my printed image. Looks really good. Here's my treated painted board that I'm going to transfer to. I'm going to go ahead and use Mod Podge as my glue. Okay, and you want to have really good coverage. Make sure there are no dry spots when you're ready to do the transfer. So what I'll do is I'm going to apply this Mod Podge on very generously. Now, one of the things that I found with a white background is that because the Mod Podge or the glues that I normally use are white as well, sometimes I'm not able to see if I'm missing any spots or anything like that. And so what I also like to do is use my finger and kind of just move the glue around the board with my finger so I can feel for any areas that is missing glue or maybe kind of drying a little too quickly and I need to apply more glue in that area. Just remember, very important, anywhere that you do not have any glue or that you allow to dry before you get the image pressed onto it may end up with no image transfer for that spot. So you'll end up with missing spots. So you want to be careful of that. It is now time to glue the image onto the glued board. And so here I'm going to try to align the image to where I want it to go. When placing the image onto your glued surface, try to avoid allowing the image to slide around too much. And if possible, not at all, because you don't want to smear your image. Now, to help prevent that from happening, you can pre-spray your image with some kind of a protectant like a workable fixative or a clear coat spray before you go about gluing it on. But that's optional. If you feel that you won't be sliding it around or anything like that, you can omit that step. And I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. It's a lot easier to press the paper onto the surface when I don't have excess paper hanging off. It just sometimes gives me a little bit of trouble, so I like to just make things nice and clean. And now I'll go ahead and grab my brayer and start pressing the paper onto the surface, making sure there are no air bubbles, making sure that I have good contact everywhere. Sometimes it's just impossible to have perfect contact, especially if there are irregularities on the surface that you are transferring to. You may have little dings and dips and scratches and so forth that will tend to show up after you've done the image transfer, because the image is not able to get down into those grooves and so forth. But if you have a really good flat surface, then working it like this with a brayer will get you perfect results every time. In my case, I use the white paint, and when that dries, it creates its own little grooves. I tend to be rushing when I do these things, so it will be most likely that when I'm about ready to pull this paper off, I'll have a few spots that will need to be touched up. Now, I like to use my little heat gun here. You can use a hair dryer, hair blower dryer, that's fine too. Anything that blows hot air and can speed up the drying process. What I'll do is I'll heat it for a little while, and then I may walk away and come back to it in an hour or two or the next day. It all depends on what I've got going on in the day. But I always like to start off before I walk away doing a little bit of drying just to make sure that it has good contact before I leave. Okay, well, I've got to have my gummy snack. I love my gummy bears, my favorite candy. That's gummy worms there, but that's all I had on hand. Anyway, now it's time to release this transfer. First, moisten the back of the paper with some water. That's all I'm using here is water with a sponge brush. And you want it to soak in. It takes about a minute. And often you will see the image actually start to show through because the paper is wet. And that's a good thing. So just make sure you get it nice and soaked here. Nice and soaked. Nice and wet. Take a piece of clean paper towel and we're just going to dab off the excess water. Okay, let's start in a corner somewhere and just very gently and carefully start to pull back the paper, okay, across the image nice and low, and we have a nice transfer. Now there are a couple of spots here, and I'll point out a couple of them with my pencil. You see the little bit right there didn't transfer. There's a little spot right here and here and here. So these are areas where there was no contact and it did not glue down, whether it's because you have dust, you have scratches, you have bumps in the paint that was used to paint the board, whatever it may be. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now use my acrylic markers. You may have seen me use them in a different video where I was making t-shirt transfers. Well, you can also use them to do touch-ups. Okay, so here are the acrylic markers that you may have seen me use before. And now I'm going to do some minor touch-ups, and wait till you see just how well this is going to work. Look at Spock's hair. We have a little issue with his hair, and that was mostly from the photo itself. That did transfer over, but the photo, it wasn't perfect. And I have a couple spots that didn't transfer over, and you're going to see that I'm just going to cover it up by matching the colors as close as possible. When you give this a nice protective spray at the end, which I'll show you, it even covers even better after doing this. Okay, that's it for the acrylic markers. Now take a look at that image. How cool is that? Look at the hat. How I improved on the hat with the markers. And look at Spock's hair. That looks really cool. Now it's time to spray this with an acrylic spray of some sort. A varnish, doesn't matter. Just something that you usually would protect your wood with. I'm going to protect this image with it. I'm using the Podge brand here, but I often use Krylon as well. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to protect my surface, and let's go to spraying and watch how it just makes this thing look really nice and shiny and glossy. Shiny and glossy. It's kind of like a double. Well, anyway. Now take a look at the final product. Is that not cool? A nice little custom Star Trek image made by AI. The Ricks Can Do It transfer paper and a little creativity. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps support this channel and it lets me know that you want to see more. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when I upload new content. And again, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.